Some stories about overnight fortunes and dreams coming true in the world of investment sound more like mythology than fact. This is a voyage of danger, commitment, and unflinching belief. It is not just any story. Meet Jason DeBolt, a man who peered beyond the here and now to a future that many could not have imagined, a man who transformed the ordinary into the remarkable. Every single transaction was a little frightening, as I mentioned. They simply become more terrifying. Yes, I believe I do recall purchasing when Tesla was tripling its price from $30 to $80. Oh, maybe I shouldn't be doing this, I recall thinking. The price of Tesla just doubled. It's not split adjusted, but Tesla went from $30 to $80 back then to $850 today, which is equivalent to moving from $7 to $15, isn't it? It looked like a high-risk situation. At the time, purchasing Tesla after a double looked extremely risky. It doesn't really matter in the long term, though, because Tesla has multiplied 100 times since then. It really doesn't make sense to attempt to timing anything if you have a long-term vision and are a long-term buy and hold investor, which is why you shouldn't actually buy. I don't believe in purchasing on the dips. Time is not something I try to do. When I transferred my 401 to Tesla, I believe I made a market order for about $400,000. I simply sold everything and purchased everything at once rather than dollar costing averaging. The value of that 401 is now $5 million. I mean, I might have done a little bit better if I had dollar cost averaged, but I might have lost out on some benefits as well. I would simply purchase all of the shares after waiting until I had between $10,000 and $20,000 saved. Yes, as I began to see how Tesla was still innovating, my conviction definitely grew. It was still being misinterpreted, not just by the general public and Wall Street, but even by Google employees. Some of the highly intelligent technical employees at Google didn't even comprehend it until I physically placed them in my car and instructed them to drive it. Additionally, I believe that giving folks the opportunity to test drive my Tesla was one of the rare occasions in my life when I truly witnessed someone shift their perspective. You can actually notice the change. Greetings, this is Tesla Stock News. Today, I will walk you through a story that appears to be fiction, but is actually quite genuine. It tells the story of a man whose life was drastically altered by his audacious Tesla investment. Based on Jason's incredible plan, we'll reveal the 5 things you need to do to retire like me. His journey from living in his van to earning millions of dollars is not merely about financial success. It's also about having a vision and taking a risk that paid off in ways that most people can only imagine. However, keep in mind that any investment story contains both risks and benefits. We're delving deeply into the highs and lows, tactics, sacrifices, and eventual profits of a man who staked everything on a single stock. Are you prepared to go on this financial journey? Is this a warning about risk and reward or your roadmap to retirement? Let's investigate together. However, remember to first like this video and subscribe to our channel. Let's get going now. Let's first quickly review the events that occurred in Jason's turbulent life. In the early 2010s, when electric vehicles were only a minor development in the automobile industry, our journey starts. Presenting Jason DeBolt, an ordinary man with a remarkable vision. At the time, Jason was just another person in the crowd, working a regular 9-to-5 job, until he happened upon Tesla, a company that would transform his life. He was enthralled with Elon Musk's vision, which saw the future rather than just automobiles. Jason jumped in 2013 with just his life savings and faith. Despite just spending $2.50 per share, he made a significant investment in Tesla. It was an audacious move, a risk that many would have been reluctant to take. Jason's money started to rise along with Tesla's stock. However, this is a narrative of persistent commitment rather than merely good fortune. Through the highs and lows, Jason never sold his shares because he always believed in them. He had to make some sacrifices along the way. Jason even lived out of his Tesla Model 3 at one point in order to save money and buy more shares. His commitment was unparalleled. In 2021, the hitherto unthinkable occurred. Jason's $12 million all-in Tesla portfolio made him a millionaire when he retired at 39. And that's only the start of this amazing tale. my friends. Let's now examine the risks and tactics, the hows and whys, and what lessons Jason Dibolt's incredible journey has to teach us. What specifically did Jason Dibolt do to make his audacious goal a multimillion-dollar reality? Conviction. Above all, Jason exemplified the strategy of making aggressive investments in stocks with strong conviction. Let's dissect that. Jason's strong faith in Tesla's mission and future was the foundation of his steadfast devotion to the company. Early on, he realized that Tesla was about more than just automobiles. It was about transforming energy and transportation. For Jason, this was more than simply a stock. It was a vision that he viewed as the future. Finding a business that you both believe in and believe has enormous growth potential is the goal here. It all comes down to researching the business, being knowledgeable about the sector, and having faith in the leadership and long-term goals of the organization. The important thing is that this strategy is dangerous by nature. Both possible gains and losses are increased when a sizable amount of your wealth is invested in a single stock. Putting all your eggs in one basket is what it is. Even though Jason's experience with Tesla was successful, it's crucial to keep in mind that these kinds of success stories are uncommon. Since diversification spreads risk, it is typically advised while investing. However, placing a large wager on a single horse is contrary to high-conviction investing. It calls for not only faith in the business, but also the fortitude to persevere through fluctuations in the market and the financial fortitude to absorb possible losses. The second step is to adopt a long-term buy and hold strategy. Now that we've explored the risky realm of making large investments in a single stock, let's move on to another essential component of Jason Dibolt's approach that was essential to his financial success. Jason's quest involved more than simply where he staked his wager, it also involved how he managed it. This leads us to the second important tactic, which is to develop a long-term buy and hold mindset. Jason showed incredible tenacity over his investment path. He persevered in holding onto his Tesla stock through the market's ups and downs. This has nothing to do with timing the market or making rapid profits. It wasn't a sprint for Jason, it was a marathon. Adopting a long-term buy and hold strategy entails believing in the future of your investment despite the unavoidable fluctuations. It's about looking past the immediate commotion and concentrating on the potential future state of the business. This approach necessitates perseverance and a firm trust in your investing decision. It involves more than just persevering through prosperous times. It also entails having the fortitude to endure times when the market appears to be against you or when the stock may decline. Markets have a tendency to recover, as history has often demonstrated. Businesses can bounce back and get even stronger over time if they have solid foundations and creative goods or services. Although this strategy provides advantages, it's important to recognize that there are hazards involved. Not all investments recover or increase in value over time, and market circumstances are subject to change. This approach requires a logical evaluation of an investment's long-term prospects, in addition to an emotional commitment to it. Number 3. Exercise caution when using margin ***. We now explore another crucial aspect of Jason Dibolt's investment plan after realizing the importance of a firm long-term attitude. Your work retains its original length and purpose while being grammatically perfect. If you require any other refinements, please let me know.